Friends, I read to you Justice VR Krishna Iyer's book, Unspeakable Anecdotes, My Life. This book in paperback, that is of 131 pages, has been published by Law and Justice Publishing Company. The book has the first edition indicated as 2012, then a reprint came in 2024. And it costs 295 rupees. I wish to compliment my friend Manish Arora for bringing out this book at an affordable cost, and that would hugely benefit all connected with legal profession. I read to you excerpts from page 3 of the book by Justice VR Krishna Iyer. Although in the 4th standard I had private tuition at home, and a pleasant teacher came and taught me without the least unpleasantness and gave me colored chalks, which as a child I made me happy. Kunchambu was his name, fine teacher. At school I was easily the best. Those who were poor performers were poor children who were not having a full meal, a good dress, or time or environs to study. These boys were talented but were beaten at school and starved at home. Poverty is an inhibitive menace. Its abolition is a national necessity. Otherwise, our national resources we lose. Real development needs economic equality and advance. Socialist India alone can make Bharat truly great. My childhood was not all sweet and enjoyable. My house at Quislandi was close to Krishna Temple. Kotha Mangalam village at Quillandi was small, quiet and typical of old-time India. There was a temple and subsidiary one of Ganpati. My name should have been of the deity of my mother's village, being the second son. The eldest son bore the name of the village deity of my father, the second son of the mother's village. My elder brother was named Venkateshwaran, the god of Vaidyanathapuram, my father's village, where we had our ancestral house by the side of the Kalapathy river. I should have been Lakshmi Narayanan of Sekharipuram, but we lived so close to the Krishna temple that I was given the name Sri Krishna, and my younger brother Lakshmi Narayanan, who as a bright student, a law graduate, an IFS, became a CBI chief, a DGP of Madras, and lives the life of public activity, a retired, reputed senior police officer with a sequestered way of life. He is a well-read scholar. When I consulted on anything or when I had doubt or needed odd information, he was a wonder for me. So too my sister, Dr. Meenakshi, who lost her husband at the age of 12. My father, a brilliant pleader but orthodox, believed in child marriage, and sister had her wedding early but escaped the curse of child marriage since her husband, a young lawyer in an obscure village, died, and widowhood freed my sister, who to my wonder continued her studies in the Annamalai University, became a graduate, took a doctorate, went to the US and did research in 2 or 3 universities for over 10 years. On return, she imported for me a new Chevrolet car, the first in India, a happy possession. Yes, we are 7. I too was a bright, not brilliant student, passed my degree course in the Victoria College, Palghat, under Professor Pipworth, the then principal. My English professor, quite brilliant, was K.S. Vaidyanath Iyer. He molded my English, a language I loved as a judge. One small incident while a young boy. My father had a lucrative practice and organized the sacred thread ceremony of my elder brother in a big way at Vaidyanathapuram, Palghat, with eminent purohits and Nadaswaram, elephant and feast. That was merry time for us boys. My brother was aloft on a young elephant for a ride to the temple. Young children ran about with thrill. In front of us was Kalapathy river flowing, a lovely sight, a bathing facility. The elephant was behind us as if chasing us. In fright, I ran across the river, which was shallow. Suddenly, there was a deep depression, and I was nearly drowned. I experienced drowning. Oh God, and then the next step, I was out of the depth and found myself safe. Oh Lord, this terror of losing life had never left me since. I had not learned the swimming. Later, I learned to swim in the temple tank tied on two coconuts, which would keep me afloat. But never can I forget the horror of the Kalpathy drowning. Had I then lost my life, no more of college, bar, bench, ministry, and all the toilet of the heights and depths of the world. I am still at 97, depressed to think of that little drowning tragic episode. Life is dear. Even as a judge, I am against hanging. Life is too sacred and dear to be hanged away. When father and mother unite and an egg is fertilized, my life is born in the womb. A million in one ejaculation is fertilized into the womb, and a single by accident gets fertilized. And after it fulfills its function, the womb becomes a baby, a genius or midget, an Einstein or a marvel of men. This luck egg brings to the earth a splendor on egg in the ovary fertilized by a mystic process. This riddle brings life Newton or dull boy or an Indira Gandhi or even a Queen Elizabeth. It is a divine surprise that produces by accident one or more geniuses, a Newton or a C.V. Raman out of ejaculation. No nation can boast of Nobel Prize winner if they are care to remember that it is by sheer accident that some womb somewhere produces a wonder of talent. Be humble. After all, the greatest nation is the product of the birth of a Napoleon or Newton by a sexual ejaculation. I move to page 7 now. It reads, as a student, I have no politics, nor was a member of any political student organization. As a lawyer, I had no party membership. And in the 1952 general election, for the first time, when political parties had an opportunity to prove their political importance to the nation, then how come I was chosen as a candidate, and that too as an independent from Kuthapuramba near Telicheri, a political area which had a left party municipal chairman. The Communist Party would have easily chosen their party men, but I could not have agreed to be the party candidate. What happened was, during the 3 years of my practice, I appeared for workers against mill owners with success. So much so, I had almost a monopoly for workers' litigation. Similarly, there were peasant struggles. I have appeared for the peasants against big land owners. Thus, they too told the party that I should be the candidate for them in the elections. Curiously enough, A.K. Gopalan, the communist leader, was prosecuted for his violent speech. Invariably, I appeared for him and so became a well-known leftist lawyer. These factors could not be ignored by the party, and so they agreed to put me up as an independent candidate for the Communist Party and the Kripalani Congress Party against the Congress Party candidate. It was my first experience in a political election and had a hard time because I did not belong to a Muslim, Christian, non-Brahmin Hindu community. Brahmins were a tiny community and I was an Iyer and a Brahmin. My opponents tried to isolate me as a Brahmin. I told the Congress that their national leader was Pandit Nehru, who was a Brahmin, the biggest Brahmin in India. In the general election, I won against the Congress and the Socialists as an independent, in spite of Nehru coming to Telicheri to speak against my candidature. Equally surprising was a meeting in Kochi where all party MLAs were called by EMS. I too was called. I was a leftist independent. At that meeting, EMS proposed to me to become a minister. I hesitated because I had a large practice. Eventually, I consented, with none to seek permission except my wife. We had gone together to Kochi and consented to be in the EMS government, whom I had not known earlier. At my election, C.H. Kanaran was the local party leader who campaigned for me. Dange, who was the national communist leader of the FAME, addressed my rally, and I had my own independent standing as a successful lawyer and had won on my own credentials and showed as a legislator in the Madras Assembly. Rajaji was the chief minister, and crossing swords with him was a terrible experience. I made a powerful speech against Rajaji's confidence motion, and even the communist leaders like P. Ramamurthy Kalyana Sundaram and Andhra Kesari Prakasham were astonished as an obscure Telicheri lawyer speaking first against Rajaji's confidence motion. The Madras media were themselves surprised by giving me good press publicity. So I began my legislative career with great success. Thank you.